Alright, what up YouTube? It's Plock the Master Gamer with another sloppy jalopy weld job. My racing setup has kind of been out of action for a while. I think August 16th or 19th or something was like the last time I really played beamng.drive before I got this thing set up the other day. The reason why I decided to, get off my ass and finally do it is I got a comment on one of my videos recently regarding a YouTuber by the name of the Originators who does a lot of beamng content, but they actually sent out a challenge video to a bunch of beamng YouTubers in regards to the new Utah map, what do you call it? They just redid the whole thing. I guess it's supposed to look a lot better, but there's some sort of like race scenario thing that the Originators created. He wants to challenge a bunch of YouTubers, see who can do it the fastest, the betterest, the whatever. So I had to get my racing setup, set up again so I could actually partake in that. I'd love to do some collaboration with some fellow beamng YouTubers. So that meant I had to finally get this thing all mounted up. Now it's a pretty crude system, but it works out pretty well. I basically just have this TV mounted to this steel square tubing, same stuff I've been using for all my dumb little mounts. I just welded it to this little thing here, which again, Plock the Master Welder over here, look at that. A little too much voltage maybe, I don't know. It holds though. It's that weld is probably the strongest part of this whole setup. I had it mounted here first and that metal wasn't strong enough. It was bending and flexing way too much. This monitor was literally just like falling forward onto the steering wheel. So it just didn't hold it at all. So I tried to move it down here. I had to kind of like make a little extender here out of wood. It also kind of like helped to stiffen up the metal a little bit so that the metal doesn't flex. But really all that's holding this whole setup to that piece of wood is just two drywall screws. So this clamp is just kind of here to add a little bit of extra support, I just don't trust it all that much. Ideally, I'd have some bolts running through there, but I didn't have long enough bolts to do that with. I think eventually I'm gonna do that. Gonna drill a hole all the way through, drop a bolt through there, and that should be pretty solid. I couldn't see that really ever breaking unless like the wood splits or something. But that's all something for another day. But basically, this monitor is like the main big kahuna of this setup. I got this, I can't remember if I got it on my birthday last year or Christmas last year, but I've definitely had it for more than like half a year. It's been like anywhere from like a year to a half a year that I've had this thing. And I got it specifically for my racing setup with the intent of getting it mounted right there. And I just never got around to it, Just a lot of other projects, a lot of busy this, busy that. Never got around to it, but it is a 144 hertz curved. It's ultra widescreen. It's not just normal widescreen, it's ultra widescreen. So it's really perfect for that extra immersion you get. It's basically the closest you can get to VR without having a VR headset on, having that full wraparound screen. One thing I would like to do though is at least get it maybe a little bit closer to the wheel and a little bit further down, because if you get kind of in the seating position here, let's see if I can get my finger here. When you have the steering wheel on the screen kind of going right here, it just it feels like it's just slightly higher than it should be. Your eye level is about in the middle, which isn't terrible for driving, but I would like to have my eye level maybe more closer to here, which is where it's supposed to be when you're at a desktop computer. I think technically you're supposed to be eye level with the top of the screen or something like that. Can't quite remember how that is supposed to work, but I would like this to lower down at least a little bit. And then we also kind of have this problem here. It does seem to just barely clear it in terms of height, maybe not. So I might end up making some alterations to this. I'm thinking the main alteration I might make is just having this set more straight like that. So that way it's closer to my hand when I need to use it. And when it snaps back, I don't have to worry about it smacking the monitor if I ever do get it closer and lower down, because that would suck, doing a nice handbrake turn and the handbrake snaps back and just shatters the monitor. Yeah, that'd be awesome, But yeah, it's a decently solid setup. It's got a little bit of flex and flop to it, but it's nothing too crazy. I'm not super worried about it. But yeah, that's kind of the big thing that's been happening. I got this thing set up again, so you guys will probably start to see some beamng videos. Only major thing here is that I, as of right now, don't have it set up to my main computer. It's in the other room there, you can see it. Hello, other computer. Another part of this project that I've been putting off was putting a wire pass through in the wall. So So there's one of these plates on the other side as well. It just allows you to pass, you know, low voltage wires through the wall. So that'll be handy for passing through like HDMI cables, USB cables, that sort of thing. Because I do eventually intend to get this whole room set up as like a VR room, which, you know, right now it's mostly just like a shop room and a band room. I intend to have like most of this free space here, just, you know, the VR like floor area, and then for the sensors, I'm gonna try to get them mounted up on the ceiling. I don't know how that's gonna work out logistically. I hope these lights don't actually get in the way. I haven't actually thought about that. But I was thinking of kind of just like putting them up on the wall here, like right above the stage corners here. So there'd be like one up top on this corner, one up top on this corner up there. Just kind of like pointing outwards this way, and that should be able to get decent coverage of like all of this open space here. The way I have it set up now is it's just, there's one of them on that speaker, and I don't know if I can get it over here. There's another one on that speaker, but there's not really too much floor space. We got, you know, chairs and desks all over in this room, so it's a pretty cluttered room, which is the majority of the reason why I had to take this thing out of there. It was just a lot more crowded in there, especially after the whole fine mouth shack thing that I installed recently. It takes up a lot more room than his old enclosure, so had to make some adjustments to, you know, the office setup in terms of desk and chair arrangements. And this guy had to go because it takes up a lot of floor space, even when it's like tucked into my desk, which I had it tucked into my desk for like half a year. I wasn't even using my office chair. I was just using this thing as a chair for like everything. But it's definitely nice to have this thing set up again. I haven't done any video game racing since August, so it's been a few months since I've done my BeamNG stuff. But anyways, I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update on my setup here, let you guys know what's coming for the future, and also just to let the Originators know that I do intend to complete your challenge. Right now I have the Predator laptop set up, which it can run the game. I don't know how well it's gonna do for recording, because I might need to figure out some sort of weird recording setup until I can get this thing set up over here to record, which is going to be its own thing too. It's like a whole thing, you know, figuring out microphones and all that stuff. So it might be interesting. I might still end up just doing it in there with the controller, which will really suck. I don't want to have to do this. I don't want to have to do this with a controller. This is what this all was. I could have just done this challenge with a controller or the keyboard like Spears the Amazing HD probably would, but I would much rather just do it the right way, which is why I had to get off my ass and do this finally. But anyways, that's it. Just wanted to give you guys a little update. And yeah, I'll see you guys in probably the next BeamNG video. But anyways, see you guys in the next one. Peace out.